Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust, episode 224. We are watching out for creepers. We had one greet us in the last episode, the 2-year episode, 2-year anniversary episode, rather. Although it felt like it lasted 2 years, it was a long episode. Let's litter onto the ground here. That way is obviously east as the sun is rising. We are heading west, so let's grab Wolfie and do such a thing. Indeed. Okay, just keeping an eye out for any friends who decide to join us. But yeah, Farlands or Bust, episode 224. The little bit of an update on the donation situation. The donation situation to Child's Play charity. I've been busy and have not had a chance to upgrade the website and the widget to a replacement. So right now the Child's Play charity donations are still pinned at $14,589, although actually $19,750 after we added in the Canadians for Kids amount from Justra and Pause on Pause. So that's where we are right now. Thank you very much for holding on to your donations, or if not, you can go straight to childsplaycharity.org and donate through them. If you really must get your donations in, that's fine too. But I'm still working on figuring out a replacement, setting up a replacement rather, made slightly more complicated by the fact that right on that day that the chip-in website went down, Child's Play charity themselves. Are you not going to attack that pig, Wolfie? Oh, I guess not. He's going to be friends with it. What the heck? Well, I don't like these guys. They're like teetering on the edge of a cliff. How about that guy? Well done. Alright, that's pretty much all I needed. So yeah, Child's Play charity launched their own in-house donation widget made by volunteers, they said. I mean, it's a very cool thing. So I'm checking that out. I don't know that it's going to be flexible enough for us. I have to discuss such things with Jamie over at Child's Play charity. I'll probably, like originally planned, I'll probably be going with the I'm raising widget. Very flexible with that, but I have to set it up. I've been very busy. As you guys know, this week I've launched my initiative. Well, you might not know if you didn't watch my last Mindcrack episode, but I've launched into a renewed pith and vinegar and an initiative to get on a schedule for my woo. Oh, this is like a diving board. Alonzi! Wolfie? Oh, no! Oh, you take the wrong way, you noodle. But yeah, I've launched this week into, like, my own schedule. I know previously I've not been as consistent as I could be with my videos. I'd come out when, like, random, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of spurts, I guess you could say, of just on and off, where I'll have like, a ton of videos at once, and then I'll like disappear for 2 or 3 days, and I'll come back. So I've launched into a new initiative to keep myself motivated, giving myself a little bit of a schedule. It's a secret, not a secret, but a schedule for myself, really. So I'm not really publishing it. I'm keeping myself a little bit flexible, but trying to keep on a schedule. So I'm adjusting my, what's the word I'm looking for? My schedule around the video schedule, obviously. I'm giving myself deadlines, but then I'm allowing myself to try to figure out ways that I can meet those deadlines on when to record and when to upload and things like that. So it's so far working, but that, in addition to the fact that I'm planning on doing some live streaming this weekend, in addition to the fact that I've started playing a new game, Tomb Raider, also in addition to the fact that I need to change and update the chip-in, not the chip-in, I gotta stop calling it that, the donation widgets for Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. Woo, careful. A lot of stuff happening at once. I've got a few other things away from the YouTube channel going on as well that I've got to keep an eye on. So I've got taxes, obviously, to do. And I'm not complaining about taxes. The only thing, I don't mind paying taxes. Hell, if I could, I'd like pay a little bit more and specify I want this money to go to NASA or something like that, or some program that I specifically like. But they don't let you do that, unfortunately. It's just the process of doing taxes, which for those of you who have never done contract work or have not ever been self-employed, that makes things extremely complicated. So it's annoying to me, not the fact that I have to pay taxes. It's annoying to me that I'd rather be recording more videos or doing more live streams or this or that or the other. So there's other things I'd rather be doing, but we must do them. It is our duty. Duty. So I've got that going on. So yeah, it's a very busy couple weeks. I've also got to... I've been informed that from the place that I live in that I am required to make an appointment to have my dryer vents cleaned, which I've never heard of being a thing that needs to happen. I have a feeling that somebody on the board of the association or whatever has a brother or a cousin who runs a duct cleaning service, and that's the service they recommend, obviously. And they need some extra business, so they're like, I know, let's make all of our tenants get a duct cleaning job. So I've got to make an appointment for that, which is kind of annoying. It seems like one of those things. I'm sure. I mean, yes, I'm sure there are a statistic of residential. Hello. Residential fires or hazards from having dirty ducts, but it's kind of one of those add-on services that might not be as essential as maybe people make it out to be in order to make a few extra bucks. Kind of like, if you take your car in, they say that you need to flush out your transmission fluid. No, you don't ever have to do that on a modern car. The transmission fluid is like lifetime. Unless like there's a problem and you've cracked your transmission and it's leaking fluid, there's really no reason to replace that fluid. Sentimental music talking about transmission fluid. So yeah, I've got all this stuff I've got to do being an adult and whatnot. Ugh, nuts to that. So I haven't, unfortunately, been able to get a new chip-in widget up. I hope to get it up by tomorrow, Saturday, because that's when I'd like to start doing live streaming. It's a little bit confusing. I'm recording this in the morning, but today, Friday, I know I said I might do some live streaming. I've shifted into, I'm now going to be a guest on another live stream. The Kerbal Space Program devs do a community live stream every Friday, and they've invited me to be a guest, so I'm going to do that instead. If you were following me on Twitter or Facebook, Farlands or Busts on Facebook, or KurtJMac on Twitter, you would have already known about this and you wouldn't have missed it, because this episode is coming out after the facts. Sorry. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. But yeah, Saturday and Sunday is when I'm planning on doing little live streams, maybe a couple hours at a time. Nothing flob-athon. Look at this herd, this gaggle, this... What is the word? I know I looked it up and Snarky Yellow Text corrected me before. It's a swath, a gaggle, a flock of pigs. There's a word. I forgot it again. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on. So sorry. It really. I mean, that's the main reason we're walking to the Farlands now is raising money as a walk-a-thon for Child's Play charity rather. And I don't have that up, and the longer I don't have that up, the less money we're able to raise to help these kids in hospitals around the world. So I'll get on that. It's a priority. Above the fact that I need to have my ducts cleaned. I'll just have to pay the fine if I don't do it by a certain date. All right, so talk about that. Blah blah blah. Oh, we've gained some more Farlanders ever since the last episode celebrating 1 year of both my Let's Play channel and also 1 year of Farlands or Bust World, the Farlands or Bust World rather. gained some new subscribers thanks to our good friends over at Mojang. Notch and Dinnerbone gave me a little bit of a shout out on Twitter and elsewhere, celebrating the 2 years continuing to walk in Farlands or Bust. So thanks to those guys, and welcome everybody who's new. I think I'll start out tomorrow morning. Regular Farlanders are well aware that every once in a while, when we get little surges of subscribers, that I need to remind and give everybody the lowdown on what Farlands or Bust actually is. So I'll do that in the morning. Oh, choked on my own snot there. Excuse me. Oh, yep, I'm awake. Sleep apnea. I need one of those masks so that I can breathe properly. That's a problem. No, I don't actually have that. So yeah, Farlands or Busts. As you already know, I've been doing this for 2 years. The 2-year anniversary is when I uploaded episode 1. I departed my spawn area for the Farlands at episode 11. So we recently kind of celebrated that mark. Ooh, it's the Sarlacc pit. Wow, careful, Wolfie, don't be glitching into blocks. God, that was a scary moment last episode. People were calculating of how many hearts he had left, like half a heart or a heart and a half. Ugh. Crazy dog. But yeah, we're walking to the Farlands. The Farlands in version beta 1.7.3, which is the version we are playing, are a place that is about spawner. Should we investigate, Wolfie, or should we continue on? He sounds like he wants us to continue on. He didn't bark. All right. We come across so many spawners. We're not missing anything. Don't worry. But yeah, the Farlands are a point some 12,500,000 etc. blocks away from the 0 point. Are a place where the terrain generation algorithms pretty much break down, and instead of these, pretty standard rolling hills and trees and water at certain heights and grass, everything is like upside down and backwards and inside of itself. It's a big giant wall of just random terrain. There are people who have visited the Farlands. You can teleport you there with single player commands and other such things. I actually somebody made a Race for Wool map where they copied and pasted a chunk of the Farlands and put it into Race for Wool map. So it's something that people have seen. There are pictures. There's a page on the Minecraft wiki if you'd like to learn the specifics about the math behind why in the random terrain generation the Farlands exist and other effects. But I actually started this series in my Let's Play experience, career, I guess, right about the same time that Notch had written a blog post all about the terrain generation, and that is where he coined the term. He knew that after a certain distance, the 12 million some odd blocks, the mathematics kind of broke down upon itself, and he knew there was this place where, it's a bug. It's not supposed to be there. It's a bug. And he knew that existed, and he kind of just haphazardly coined them the Farlands without thinking too much about it, and then that is what they've been known as since then. Of course, in version 1.8, they recreated the terrain generation algorithm to include all the new biomes with the adventure update, the villages, jungles, and things like that. And with that update, they fixed the bug. They fixed the bug that was the Farlands. And now, in current versions of the game, you can walk beyond that 12 million mark if you really want to, and you can go all the way out to 30 million, and then after that, you'll fall off the world. You'll see fake chunks after that in this, I guess what some people are calling the new Farlands, but I haven't updated because it's not the actual Farlands. It's not actually a place you can say, I'm here, because it just looks like the rest of the map. So that is why I have stuck with Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. A lot of people enjoy, including myself. Kind of a little bit of a nostalgic trip through the biome generation of the old version of Minecraft. There's some of us who have been around since the alpha days really miss you know, this is, what is this? This is kind of a very tiny desert biome, whereas now it's a little bit more structured now. As you'll see, we get these random giant mountains or random spires or floating things. It's not unfortunately as random feeling. There's a little bit more organization in the terrain generation in current versions of the game than there is in this version of the game. So that's a reason I've stuck with it. And people have asked, oh, if they update the terrain generation in the future and the Farlands come back, will you update? And I don't think so. Firstly, because, like I said, the Farlands are a bug. They wouldn't be doing their jobs, Dinnerbone and Jeb and those guys wouldn't be doing their jobs if they'd make an update only to bring back a bug that they've already fixed. Not to say they've never done that before, see? But, sorry. But yeah, that's, I doubt that's going to happen, and even if it does, I enjoy this version of the game, and it's, you know, it's given the series a little bit of a flair, a little bit of a unique aspect. Ooh, this is weird. Yeah, speaking of random stuff, look at this. We've got clay and grass kind of just randomly intersected with each other. Yeah. With each other. We've also got what appears to be a zombie spawner somewhere underneath here. But Wolfie's too excited. He wants to continue. Oh, that was a chicken. I'm like, I hear footsteps that aren't my own. These footsteps are not my own. So yeah, I mean, I just decided on a whim to try to walk to the Farlands. I later decided, hey, this is kind of a marathon type event, so might as well turn it into like a walk-a-thon fundraiser for Child's Play charity. I got a lot of questions of new people in the last episode asking me to press F3. I've thought of that as well. Along with the fundraiser for Child's Play charity, I only press F3 as a reward for us reaching our goals. Our first official goal for Child's Play charity was $820, which is 820 hours is the estimate it would take for someone to walk in a straight line constantly to reach the Farlands from spawn on a super flat world with no up and down terrain or anything like that. We reached that in a week, so that happened right away. So what I did is I extended it to $8,200. We raised that in like a couple months. We had a little bit of a live stream weekend, and then I pressed F3 at the end of that. That was, I started in, like I said, March, April, I think is probably when I started walking to the Farlands. And then the first Farlands or Bust F3 moment was in November. And at that point, we realized we had walked 292,202, 292,000 blocks from spawn. That's, if each block is agreed upon to be a meter, that's 292 kilometers that I walked. So we found that at the first F3 moment. The next one was about a year later. Careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie. Well done. Was about a year later when we raised, based on that number, the new goal was $29,220. We raised that during flob-athon weekend this past year in August. Pressed F3 at the end of that to find that we were at 699,492, 699 kilometers from spawn. So that, you know, we still have to get to 12,500,000 something. A small amount, but it's a measurable amount. You know, it's 5% of the way there. I don't believe anybody, certainly nobody who has been documenting the entire trip and uploading it to YouTube, has ever walked in vanilla Minecraft. I've got no mods other than this texture pack that was made by a Farlander, a fan of the series. No mods. This is vanilla Minecraft beta 173. I don't believe anybody can say they've ever walked that distance. And I have the footage in the past 224 episodes of Farlands or Bust. I have the footage to prove it. So that, you know, it's nothing to scoff at. And of course, the big number that I'm now concerned about, obviously, is the Child's Play charity thing, which is why I won't press F3. That's our incentive. I personally don't press F3 away from the camera either, guys. So when I press F3 at the end of a season, it's as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. Indeed. Right, Wolfie? Yeah, right. So yeah, that kind of is a little bit of a summary of Farlands or Bust. Yes, I notice when I walk on diagonals that the ground is jittery. That is a result of being so far away from spawn. Even 5% of the way to the Farlands. The selection box is off. That is due to the floating point precision error in the mathematics that go into calculating where I precisely am on the map. That might be why we're starting to have problems almost like that. Careful, Wolfie. Of Wolfie spawning in blocks when he teleports. Also why he might have problems, hitting the hitboxes on the pigs I try to get him to hunt. So these things are all things that are part of the charm and part of the reason to experience these strange mathematical anomalies breaking down the physics of the game by reaching further and further out into the far lands. That is the reason we are doing this, so it's all, as annoying as some people find this jitteriness to be, it's all part of the experience. It's why we're doing this. I was so interested in the fact that the terrain and the game breaks down bit by bit. I'm glad we're actually experiencing this together, so woo! Let's go to sleep. Let's try to, actually snore properly this time, too. And a sunriseness. And a continuing onsness. Spalootness? Indeed, Wolfie. Indeed. So yeah. And actually, I guess, I forgot, I should have done that last episode, but I forgot to give an update as to the actual physical size of the world that it takes up on the disk space. The physical size of this world, right before I started recording this episode, so it's probably a little bit larger, because as we continue walking west here, the world keeps spawning land in front of us, and it's got to save that chunk information in the world save file. The current size of the world is 6,516.99 megabytes. So like 6.5 gigs of a world here. Keeping in mind that we're just walking in one direction. I still haven't been able to update. I'm working on it. That's another thing I gotta do. Geez, add that to the list. Ugh. But no, I'm still working on farlandsorbust.com. There is the map. We have an overhead map, an overviewer map. That is only up to the first F3 moment. That is from 00 to 292.202. So yeah, it's a big spindly line that we're just walking in. And as we continue to do that, it just continues to grow and grow and grow in size. So I've got to update that. I'm going to update that to the 699.492 monument. I don't update that, obviously, on a daily basis, because that would kind of spoil the reason why we're keeping the F3 button pressing till later. So I keep that only up to the previous season. Well, 2 seasons ago as it is right now. I'm trying to find a way to update it. It's a large file to work with Overviewer. It takes a long time, and then having to also upload that to the web server and stuff like that is no small task indeed. Woo! Hello. Woof! So yeah, got these kind of little islandy biomes and stuff like these. You don't really see these that much in the current terrain generation. Just these kind of random derpy little islands. I mean, I know there's the ocean biomes, but you don't really get this all that much that I'm too much remembering. I mean, yeah, we got like a derp tower over there. Cool beans. Beans which have cooled to room temperature. Woo! Whoa! Careful. Another thing that I've started doing, obviously, is answering viewer questions to keep things interesting for each episode of Farlands or Bust. Got a question from our friend Lorgon111 on the last episode. He had a question for Wolfie. So, Wolfie, are you here with us? Yeah, he's here. Question for Wolfie. Lorgon111 at bleh, Brian asked, woof 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 woof. There's your answer, Brian. There's your answer. I hope that satisfies your curiosity about that. It's kind of a personal topic to be asking him. I mean, geez. We've got 150,000 subscribers here. Let everybody know. Kind of a nosy guy, Brian. No. But I couldn't stay in character. A question from Twitter. You're a Wilhelm. Okay. I am a Wilhelm. No, you're a Wilhelm asked, do you enjoy cooking? What is a dish you are really good at cooking? Sort of, kind of, yes. I can't say I have a speciality. Just yesterday, I attempted. I rarely get like seafood or anything, but the place I was shopping, the frozen shrimp was on sale. It was on sale. It was on sale. See, it was on sale, so I got some frozen shrimp. I can't say that. Frozen shrimp. Frozen shrimp. Frozen shrimp. I got some frozen shrimp and made a stir fry. I found some gluten-free stir fry. Like a teriyaki sauce thing, and chopped up some green, yellow, and red pepper, bell pepper, and onion, some carrots. I had some broccoli and cauliflower, threw that in I got a big wok type thing, sauteed that up real good, then threw in the shrimp, cooked that real good, and then put the sauce in there and just made some white rice, and turned out pretty good, I think. So I can't say I found my favorite thing to make. There are quite often times, and that was happening a lot the last couple weeks, where I just get bored of food. I'm not like really excited by it. I just, it's like you only eat because you have to, because you need to survive. So there's times where I just get bored of food. Whether or not it just be making it or eating it or something like that. I don't know. So I can't say I have a favorite. I've also recently I found and bought some gluten-free pizza pie crust. Pizza pie crust? It's a pizza pie. Pizza crust, and you get the sauce and the tomatoes and the cheese and toppings and whatever. I made a few. I've been disappointed by the frozen selection of gluten-free pizzas. Not good at all. So I got these pie crusts myself, and I've been... Whoa, got some weird feedback in my headphone right there. What was I saying? So yeah, I made some pizzas. That turned out well. The trick is to either with melted butter or with olive oil brush the edge of the crust. I didn't do that the first couple times, and the crust came out kind of dry and uninspired. So brush the edges of the crust before you put the toppings on with some melted butter or olive oil, and it'll come out nice and crispy and dark. So that I enjoyed. I can't say I'm really an expert at it or what my thing I'm really good at, but that's pretty good. So yeah, I don't have a specialty, but yeah, I'm fairly decent with cooking, which I guess is a little bit against the stereotype of your standard North American male, I guess. This is not generally known as the cooking type, but I like it. I'm alright with baking. Found some pretty good gluten-free brownie mixes, which turn out pretty good. I like doing that stuff. I just infrequently I do it, because then I'll, it's just me. I'll just end up making an entire batch of brownies, and then every time I walk through the kitchen, I'm like, well, might as well have another. It's my, fifth one today, but since I'm here, I don't want to waste a trip to the kitchen. So, try to avoid doing that stuff too much. Woo, let's go up. I don't want to go down there. Yeah, see, random stuff like this is really cool. In terms of the terrain generation. And whoa, careful, Wolfie. Okay, it's cool, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Kind of like the 2 years falls we discovered last time. last episode. A very similar question from Twitter is from Peachy A. If someone gave you every ingredient ever, what would you cook? I don't know how to answer that question. It sounds like you're trying to get me to answer what would be my ideal food that I could just eat. I really miss Lou Malnati's pizza. That would be magical. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've mentioned this before, but I never really, is that lava over there? That might be lava. I really don't ever have, hello, lava? That's gotta be lava. I really don't ever have cravings or anything per se, so I'm never like, ooh, I'm really got a hankering for a cheeseburger or anything like that, so yeah, hard to say. Every ingredient ever. I would probably want to use that to try to, feed some starving children somewhere in the world. That seems a little bit... I'm not in need of every ingredient ever. And, I don't know why I did that, but... Seeds! But yeah, that answers those questions. Food-related questions. A really quick one from Firdan on Twitter. Do you like peanut butter or other nut butters? Crunchy or smooth? I haven't had peanut butter in a while since I kind of gave up the gluten thing. The only really way I would be eating peanut butter would be with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And the lack of bread available to me now has kind of reduced the amount that I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I could interchangeably I could interchangeably go with crunchy or smooth. Some days I'm in the mood for crunchy. Oh, there goes that shovel. Some days smooth is the way to go. But it's been a while since I've had peanut butter, to be honest. And I would generally make my peanut butter jelly sandwiches with something other than jelly. Not other than jelly, it wouldn't be peanut butter jelly. Other than grape jelly. Grape jelly is kind of the standard, I guess. But something like strawberry jelly or raspberry jelly was always good. Wolfie agrees. What do we need to do? We need a shovel, first of all. And I guess a pickaxe. That pickaxe is running low. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, and a boop. All right, very nice. Where did that go? We need to make our beds for the end of this episode, and then next episode. Boop, 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 boop. And let's make a boat while we're at it, and we're going to have to find some new planks in the next episode. But yeah, there we go. Episode 224 of Farlands or Busts is finito. Welcome all of the new Farlanders who have come through referrals. All you guys, to help congratulate the 2-year episode. I would like to congratulate you guys, because you guys have been the one raising money for Child's Play charity over the past 2 years. And like I said many times, it's of all the numbers and statistics and whatever success you may or may not say I have with the YouTubes, that is the thing I'm most proud of. And the most unexpected thing. Like I said, the first goal was $820. I thought it was going to take us a long time to reach it. We reached it in less than a week. So you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for all of your support for that. Keep checking farlandsorbust.com for an update to the donation widget. We'll get those donations rolling as soon as possible. And keep an eye on twitter.com/KurtJMac or the Farlands or Bust fan page on Facebook, where I'll be posting when I'm doing some live streaming this weekend. I'm sorry I don't have specific times available. Like I said, a little bit wibbledy-wobbledy these past few days and trying to get a schedule down. But yeah, awesome. And since the grass has grown, I think it's time to go to sleep. My name is Kurt. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.